Welcome back, everybody.
Hi.
We're on episode number 2 with Michelle Mix, who is just a spiritual goddess. Oh my goodness.
Come on.
So we're going to talk today. Oh, sorry. I'm Amanda with Rough Start Rescue.
Danielle Dropjack, Canine Inspired Change, and this is the Pay It Forward Show.
Yes. And once again, this is
Michelle Mix,
and she is a
animal communicator,
Yes.
Reiki energy healer, shaman, all kinds of cool stuff.
Light bringer, light worker,
Yes.
tribe member,
Yes.
good vibe tribe holder.
Yes, and I love it. Absolutely love it. So as you saw on last episode, we did talk a lot about, different things that you can bring to your household for your dogs, different parts of the chakras and the meridians, things like that. And we're going to start off today's episode talking about a situation which is very common to a lot of different owners. You bring a new animal into your household, whether it be adopted from a rescue, just anything like that. And let's say the dog gets in the household and all of a sudden you're realizing something's not right, the tension, this isn't what I expected. What do I do?
Well, here's the other thing. It might not even be a new animal. You might have a lot of worry about your pet because you're not sure what's going on with them, or they have different behavioral issues that you're just concerned with. So, it can really come from any kind of standpoint.
Yeah, so we have some amazing tools provided by this beautiful woman.
Got solutions for you!
Well, a lot of times when the animal comes in, chaos does erupt because there's just the energy shifts.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's the grounding technique. Just so simply, you're going to, breathe in 3 times, release, breathe in 3 times, release, like
3 deep dog breaths.
There you go. I love that. So you're just pulling the energy from the earth. And I encourage you, if you can get outside, do it outside, pull in the energy from the earth. And then what you want to do is on the 4th breath, you want to just inhale love and exhale love. And I encourage you just to hold your hands out and just send love out. Just send love to the universe. What you put out, you receive. Mm-hmm. So send love, receive love. That's going to shift the energy in the house. It's going to shift your energy. It's going to shift the animal's energy. Mm-hmm. But if you have an animal, let's say you brought in a rescue and yours are pretty calm, but if you brought in a rescue, let's say, and there's a lot of energy going on, they may be out of their body. So if you ever had a day, like if you had a day where you went shopping and you had to get groceries and you had to go to the post office and you had to get your dry cleaning and all day long, and then you get home and all of a sudden you're like, and for the first time you feel like, okay, I'm present back in my body, right? So animals spend a lot of time outside of their body, and that's where we start to kind of see the craziness come in sometimes. So doing this where you're inhaling from the earth and then exhaling, just simply put your hand on their side and then inhale love and exhale love. Instantly that animal is grounded back in their body. So if you think about it, if you were having a crazy day, like your day was really, really crazy, and I just walked up to you and I said, Amanda, you're okay. Instantly you're back in your body, right?
Yeah.
You feel that.
Yeah.
So that's also why
Somebody's phone is ringing.
That's also why the thunder shirt works.
Oh yeah.
If you use it correctly, the thunder shirt is a great grounding tool, okay?
Right.
So the thunder shirt grounds the animal back in their body.
Right.
Now, a lot of times people will get a thunder shirt and they just put it on during the thunderstorm, right? But during a thunderstorm, the dogs are picking up all the energy outside of their body.
Yeah.
So that's where that comes from.
So
So
question.
interesting.
So just for a good tool for anybody that's watching and that's going through some stuff. I know that as soon as you talked about like running around all day and being crazy, I like immediately identified with that. And also I identify with then coming home and having to unplug, deflate, don't bug me. It seems kind of like up here or down here. So I'm wondering if to modulate that throughout your day, you can just, throughout your days, you feel yourself kind of whirling around, take 3 deep breaths.
Take 3 deep breaths. Absolutely.
So that's just
Take
something
3
you
deep
guys
breaths.
can do and like now, today with us immediately, or if you're feeling overwhelmed.
And they do.
Absolutely.
They
It grounds
even
you back in
teach
your body.
us that in nursing school.
Oh, there you go.
They say, if you're in that hyperventilation state, take it down. Tell the people, it's called the pursed lip breathing.
Oh.
In through your nose, out through your mouth. It is so powerful.
We
so
forget.
powerful.
We forget that the pathway to really the inner world is the breath.
Yeah.
Right.
And really all the postures and the things we do in yoga, certainly I'm kind of tapping into that right now.
Right.
I'm big into yoga. Is all the postures are extraneous. What they really are is a pathway to the breath.
Yes.
And the connection then to
Yes.
the divine inside of all of us. So yeah. Okay.
You can also use an oil. So this is a release oil, but there's an oil called grounding too. So if you're feeling all crazy, you just or you can put it on your wrists, or something. You can use these on your dogs too.
So how would you use this on a dog?
So this
Come
is
here, dog.
the particular brand I use is Young Living. I know people use all different oils, but I know these are safe for animals. Young Living actually makes an animal oil kit that is safe for animals.
That is amazing. So as you saw in our last episode, Jana talked about
Yeah,
that as well.
Jana Anderson talked about that, and she brought some awesome oils.
Yeah. So you could use a carrier oil. So you could use like a coconut oil or a V6 oil, and you just put a couple drops of that in. So let's say that this was a dog that had just been rescued and was really going crazy, and we know that this dog has a lot of stress and a lot of things that it needs to release. We would just use the release oil. So you could put it on the bottom of their feet.
This is release oil. Okay.
Yeah, right here, these emotional meridians right here.
And now in the
place
pores,
to
I
rub
wonder,
it in.
so for pores for us, I know when we get instructed, even in nursing school, to use essential oils, the feet are so porous in humans, but they are for dogs as well. They're pads,
Right.
right?
Yes, and then when they take it in through the feet, then it bypasses the liver. But I took a course called Energy for the Earth, and it was all about using oils, and it shows like at a cellular level how you have a cell that's like a raisin, right? It's not a healthy cell, and once the oil reaches the cells, which can be in 2 to 20 minutes, right? They just plump up like a grape. They just take that energy because this is a high vibration.
Yeah.
So you're infusing this high vibration into them. So you can do it for yourself or you can do it for your dog.
Okay.
Yeah, and usually I would work around the ears, or I would do the root chakra, grounding, release, grounding on the paws. Keeps your dog grounded.
Yeah, and these are things, adopters, you out there where you've got, that crazy dog at home or even your mellow dog. It's something that benefits every animal and yourself.
Yes.
And yourself.
Therapy dogs, I would use white angelica because the work that they're doing is truly, angelic work, right? They're working with the heart so much. And white angelica is just calling in the angels and just working from that heart-centered place. So with therapy dogs, I would definitely even use white angelica.
So is there, what is in white angelica, or is that just a Young Living brand?
It's a Young Living blend, yeah.
Okay,
so
got it.
They also have one that's really cool called Tea Away. It's trauma away.
Okay.
So if you're rescuing a dog with emotional issues, you take that trauma away.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of the 3 steps I work with horses or dogs. Okay, so let's say you rescue the dog and you know this dog has terrible trauma. You know it came from the worst conditions. It hasn't been fed. It's been abused or whatever.
Yeah.
So the first thing I would do is I would go to the chakras and try to open them. The next thing I would do is I would get an oil called Tea Away or Trauma Away. Okay, so get rid of trauma. I would start with the ears and I would just massage it in the ears and I would say to the animal, I know you've had a traumatic life. I know.
And
know
animals
you've been...
listen.
Oh, yes,
animals
they do.
listen.
Yes, they hear you. And so talk about the trauma. What we want to do is bring the trauma to the surface. We want to bring it up. We don't want them to hold it in the body. So bring it up. Then I would put on a release oil and I would do the release and I would say, okay, now I want you to let it go. Let it go. You don't need to hold that in your body. It doesn't do you any good. Let it go.
It's like a counseling session.
Yeah, it is. Therapy for your dog. So you're going to do that at night, okay? So do both those things at night. Then the next morning, at night before bed, because while the animal's sleeping, they're going to release it. They're going to let it go.
Right.
Then in the morning, you're going to come in with like a joy or a present time, something with a high vibration, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put it on their ears again, and you're going to say, in this present time, your life is joyful. You live with me. You are never going to have abuse. Yes, you're never going to be abused again, right?
Yeah.
What will happen is somewhere in the 2 weeks to 30-day mark, you'll go to put the trauma life on, and they'll be like, no way, I'm out of here.
They don't need
And then
it.
you know they're done. And then you go for the release. Same thing, wait till they're done. And then you can continue with the joy or present time as long as you want.
That's amazing.
I have literally seen animals that were scared or aggressive or you name it in behavior that have shifted tenfold. different animal.
Mm-hmm.
Just by simply using oils.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
You know, and
It's been
something
amazing.
else that Michelle has mentioned a few times off camera is a soul contract.
Yeah.
So I want to touch on this real quick
This is where it gets
because
good.
Groovy.
I totally know for my animals, my energy and my relationship with them is known and understood. And I'm really curious as to what this means.
Yes.
Yeah.
So typically there are no coincidences, right? An
Mhm.
animal comes into your life, there's a reason, right? And so you may not have a soul contract with every animal. I mean, there might be squirrels outside, you don't have a soul contract with them. You might or you might not. But this animal that comes into your home that's living with you, most likely you have a deep soul contract with that animal. And so typically what we see is they're going to mirror your behavior. So if you're somebody who worries a lot, might have the biggest anxiety dogs. They have a lot of worry because they're going to mirror you,
They
right?
do. They really do.
Right? Or if you have high anxiety, you might have the most chill, calm dog because you're going to get the yin and the yang because they're going to try to teach you to calm down, okay? So it could be one of two ways. And in that contract, they're going to try to teach you self-value, to value yourself.
That's a big
Self-love.
one. That's a muscle, sister.
Go hug your dog.
Because every single human out there has value.
Yes.
You all matter.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And self-love. That's a huge
Yeah.
one. They're going to teach you how to love yourself enough.
Right.
You matter. You
Right.
should love yourself more than anybody else, right?
Mhm.
This is number one. This is where we need to start.
Right.
Connection to the divine, right here. And so
Yes.
they're going to teach you self-love. And it could be through a behavior or it could be through a behavioral challenge.
Right.
They are going to teach you that you are good enough. They are going to teach you that you're safe. Safe, secure, and protected. So you have these contracts with them. And a lot of times you'll see they may have an illness. It might not just be a behavior that is mirroring an illness you have. And once you take care of yourself, what happens? The illness goes away.
Right.
So there is this contract that you have that you come with. And so these animals that appear in our lives, like I said, it's no coincidence. They're coming to teach you something. And they do it with unconditional love.
I love it
So
so
even
much.
the animals that have been abused, think about it. They had a contract with somebody.
Yeah.
As sad as that sounds.
Right.
And they did it with unconditional love.
Right.
Unconditional
So
love.
is there anything you can do, like people watching at home right now, is there anything that they can do with their animal to kind of bring that knowledge about so that they can learn from it and then go out and spread the joy? Pay it forward?
Have awareness.
Okay.
So a lot of times when you're looking at an animal, like the issue with the animal, ask yourself, is this really about the animal or what in my life is mirroring this? Really be honest. Get nitty and gritty with yourself. Start journaling. When the dog has this behavior, what's going on in your life? What's the pattern? A lot of times you're going to see a pattern. And really get honest with yourself. What is this really about? And stop blaming the dog.
Because they feed off of everything.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, like I'll come home, be all zen, my dogs are chill, I get on the phone, I start laughing, my energy goes up, and they're like, hell yeah, let's party. Like, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, they reflect everything you do.
Yes.
Right. It's just,
Yes.
Okay, so let's call Sharpie in here and just do a quick example here.
Okay, sure.
Sharps, come on, buddy. Come on, hop up.
here he comes.
Hi.
There's the main man.
So, for example, with me and Sharpie, do you want to just touch base on what, like, we've talked about this before, but just, as a living example right now, do you want to talk a little bit about the soul contract we have?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So,
He's like staring right in the camera. He's like, ready for my close up, Mr. DeMille.
a big part of the contract you have with Sharpie is the work that you're doing, obviously.
Right.
And
So that's canine inspired change in the therapy dogs.
which that therapy is really about
bud.
healing yourself.
Yeah.
So in giving to others, you're healing yourself.
Right.
And Sharpie volunteered to be the tool to help you to have the resources to do that.
Yeah.
So Sharpie showed up in your life and said, okay, you can train me to be a therapy dog and I'll agree to do this with unconditional love. The contract is with you and Sharpie. The contract isn't necessarily with the clients that you
Right.
have.
It's
It's with you and Sharpie. And if you can't deny, I mean, there's unconditional love
Right,
right there.
right.
I'm
And
gonna post
Sharpie,
those pictures
Yeah.
because his eye is like looking at her while Michelle's
I'm
talking
talking.
for him. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sharpie's just saying, like, I'm here for you.
Right.
I'll work for you. I'll do anything for you.
Yeah.
And so you have to have discernment on what is too much for Sharpie.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sharpie would work for you until he couldn't walk anymore.
Yeah.
So you'll have to have discernment on when is too much for Sharpie, what's too much energy for Sharpie. And Sharpie really needs good massages are great for Sharpie. Chiropractic work is great. The oils are great because here's what happens. So Sharpie's tank kind of starts to deflate. You know, like the gas tank runs down as Sharpie gives. So Sharpie looks to you to help him fill that tank back up.
Got it.
Right?
Right.
So we have to be really careful with that. So just your morning walks, your morning meditation, that fills Sharpie back up.
And
so
the meridian sweeps that you taught me.
And
the
meridian
oils,
sweeps. And now that Sharpie's standing, if we can even just do it a little bit more, that now that Sharpie's, he's like, here comes the energy. So as we move the energy, we're going to go up and over. And we go all the way down to the end of the tail right there. And if this was a horse or a dog with a long tail, I would go all the way down. Because what we don't want is we don't want the energy to stay there. Anything that I've moved that was blocked, we want to send it to Mother Earth so that it recycles.
Yeah.
And then the next time you do it, you go all the way down, same thing, down the spine, and then you go around and you go down to the bottom of the right foot and you sweep it down into the earth.
Okay.
And then you do the same thing on the left side, but you always go all the way down the spine and then down. And I'm doing it pretty quickly right now, but you would just do it really slow, and you can even close your eyes and just intentionally feel that. And you always want to set your intention, you know, with love and light. I want to help you move any energy blocks for the highest good of all.
And so does it matter if you do the right or the left first?
I always do the right first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I did this one, this podcast with this awesome human named St. Mark, and he runs this place called Hobo Safe Camp. And so we were talking about my past a little bit. So my past is that I have addiction and trauma in my past, so I had to like overcome that. While all that was going on, I was training dogs and training therapy dogs, and so then St. Mark made an observation. He said, you know what? Isn't it funny that you were training therapy dogs for yourself without knowing it? I'm like, yeah, I totally was. How did I not realize that until now? Yeah. So, I mean, you just kind of corroborated that.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That's part of your journey.
It's so cool.
It's part of your story.
I feel really lucky, you know?
And people look at their past and they think, oh, that's bad. You know, I had addiction. No. They put a label on it. Don't put a label on that, because you would never be where you were today without that.
I'm one of those grateful recovery
Isn't that amazing?
people.
Yes.
It's annoying, I know, sorry. Maybe it's not.
I love it.
And that's where, even with the rescue dogs, when people bring a rescue dog in, we want to be careful where we don't get caught up in the, oh, poor rescue dog, poor rescue.
Yeah.
No, we want to get caught up in, this dog just won the lottery.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give this dog the greatest life ever.
Yeah.
And I have tools now. I can work on chakras and meridians, and I can use crystals or oils. And I'm going to give this dog a great life. This is not the poor rescue dog. This dog won the jackpot.
Yeah.
So we want to change that label. We want to get rid of those labels.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap up the show. And, you know, honestly, I think we might do a third one. Michelle is that awesome. Seriously.
It's so fun,
There's
you
so
guys.
much information.
Yeah.
So much.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much for
Yes,
coming.
I know.
And giving
honestly.
us tools, you know, and hopefully you guys can use some of these tools. Please subscribe and like leave comments. Let us know if this is working for you
Let us
or
know.
not.
Yeah, you dig it. You want to do it.
Yeah.
Contact Michelle. Michelle's going to give out her contact information.
How do they get in touch with you?
Michelle Mix on Facebook, or my phone number is 612-201-4119.
So everybody, until next time,
Yes.
pay it forward.